They were trying to compel people to say he was the greatest. Michael Jordan didn't say that about himself. Kobe Bryant didn't say that about himself. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't say that about himself. Bill Russell didn't say that about himself. Tim Duncan didn't say that about himself. Nobody said that. Nobody but him.
One man reached a level so high that history had no choice but to honor him. The other is still climbing, shouting to anyone who will listen that he deserves to be there too. Stephen A. Smith just delivered a reality check powerful enough to settle this argument once and for all. If you're tired of hearing the same recycled stats, the same back and forth, and the same worn-out claims, what you're about to hear will finally make everything clear. This isn't about tearing anyone down. It's about highlighting the difference between legends who earn their place and players who have to push for it. Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, the debate that never seems to end. But here's the truth almost no one wants to say out loud: it's not a debate anymore. It's a cleanup job. And for years, LeBron supporters have been trying to create a legacy that the game itself never fully confirmed. Every record becomes a headline. Every milestone becomes a campaign. Every achievement gets immediately compared to Jordan's, as if everyone needs constant reminders that something is true, when, if it really were, nobody would need convincing. Jordan never begged for approval. He didn't chase validation. He didn't need a PR team celebrating every time he stepped onto the court. He simply played, dominated, won, and walked away twice, leaving the entire basketball world shaken both times.
Every time LeBron does something, if Jordan wanted to, he would have done it.
I didn't say
if
that.
he's what you said he
LeBron has spent much of his career campaigning for his place in the GOAT conversation, and now the flaws in that campaign are becoming harder to hide. When your greatness needs non-stop defending, it doesn't last. It disappears the moment the spotlight shifts. Stephen A. Smith has been saying this for years, and now he's released a set of quotes so sharp and so direct that they tear apart the LeBron's GOAT argument step by step. 12 points that cut through all the noise and reveal a truth many don't want to face. Jordan's status isn't reachable. LeBron is still chasing, and no matter how long he plays or how many points he racks up, that distance between them will never fully disappear.
Jordan was the first 40-year-old to drop 40. That's number one. LeBron James is in his 22nd season. That was the 78th time in his career he has scored over 40 seasons. How many 40-point games did Michael Jordan have? 173.
If you're ready for the real discussion, buckle up, because we're getting straight to the truth. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's one major issue that separates true legends from the ones propped up by hype: self-promotion. LeBron James and the people around him have spent years loudly pushing the idea that he's the greatest of all time. Not hinting. Not suggesting. Saying it outright, again and again. And honestly, that tells you everything you need to know, because in the entire history of the NBA, no other all-time great has ever done that. Not one. Michael Jordan never once called himself the GOAT. His 6 championships and undefeated finals record said it for him. Kobe Bryant, a man obsessed with the game in a way few can understand, never crowned himself either. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar held the scoring title for nearly 40 years, won 6 MVPs, 6 championships, and never had to promote himself. Bill Russell won 11 championships and let his rings do all the talking. Tim Duncan collected 5 titles and 3 finals MVPs, and stayed as quiet as ever while his legacy grew on its own. LeBron didn't follow that pattern. He called himself the greatest early, his circle backed it up, and the media pushed it even harder. And whenever someone questions that claim, his supporters act insulted, as if disagreeing is disrespect. That's not confidence. That's insecurity. Real greatness doesn't need marketing, prepared narratives, or a full-time PR team. True greatness stands on its own, clear and undeniable. The work makes the argument, not the talking. Look at Steph Curry, the player who changed how basketball is played and shattered shooting records nobody thought could be touched. He has never once called himself the best shooter ever. Everyone else says it. Steph just keeps playing, keeps breaking records, and lets the results speak. Ray Allen, who held the three-point record before Steph, never claimed that title either. These players understood something simple. When you're truly the best, you don't have to announce it. The world already knows.
LeBron James, there's only one player we look at and we say definitively we think was better. and that was Michael Jordan. They were trying to compel people to say he was the greatest. Michael Jordan didn't say that about himself. Kobe Bryant didn't say that about himself. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't say that about himself. Bill Russell didn't say that about himself. Tim Duncan didn't say that about himself. Nobody said that. Nobody but him. Steph Curry hasn't said that about himself. Steph Curry has never called himself the greatest shooter of all time. Ray Allen never called himself the greatest shooter of all time. Reggie Miller never called himself the greatest shooter of all time. Allen Houston never called himself the greatest shooter of all time. Nobody called themselves the greatest in anything but that man and his camp.
And his circle supported that push the entire time, putting out articles, clips, and selective stats meant to reshape the story and convince people of something they already know deep down. Jordan is the benchmark. He always has been, and he always will be. And no amount of hype or self-promotion is ever going to change that.
Anything that Michael Jordan wanted to do, he didn't spend the first 8 years shivering. He didn't have to go to South Beach.
When it comes to true dominance, the numbers make everything crystal clear, and 40-point games are one of the best ways to measure a player's ability to take over when it counts. Michael Jordan delivered 173 games with 40 or more points, all within just 15 seasons. And remember, 2 of those seasons were comeback years after retirement, and 2 more were in Washington when he was well past his prime, dealing with bad knees and playing simply because he still loved the game. That means Jordan's true peak, his real stretch of dominance, happened in roughly 11 seasons. LeBron James, now in his 22nd season, recently recorded his 78th career 40-point game. That's 78 total after more than 2 decades in the league. LeBron has played 7 more seasons than Jordan, with more games, more possessions, and more chances to put up big scoring nights, yet he's still not even halfway to Jordan's total. 7 extra years, and he remains almost 100 games behind.
All I know is your man got 7 more years in the league and still chasing Jordan. 7 more years. He don't even have more rings. Been in the league long enough that I was in college. You know what I'm saying? And still, he ain't catch Jordan.